All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to crack the code on Java. We're talking about the absolute basic building blocks, the stuff you need to know to get started from scratch.
Have you ever looked at a screen full of code and just felt lost? Like you're trying to read some kind of secret language? Believe me, you are not alone. All those weird words and symbols, it can feel super intimidating at first. But here's the thing. Just like any language, Java has its own grammar. And once you learn those rules, the whole thing starts to make sense. So stick with me for just the next few minutes, and I promise we'll break down those core rules. By the end, you'll be able to look at a basic Java program and actually know what's going on.
All right, first things first. Where does a Java program even begin? Well, it all starts inside something called a class.
Seriously, think of a class like a box or a container. You have to put everything inside it. Every single instruction, every piece of data, if it's Java code, it has to live inside one of these class containers. It's the absolute #1 organizing rule of the entire language. And making one is surprisingly simple. You just type the special word class, you give it a name, we'll use the classic hello world, and then you pop some curly braces around it. And that's it. You've literally just created the basic skeleton of a Java program.
Okay, so we've built the house. Now we need a front door, right? We have to give Java a clear signal, like a big flashing sign that says, start here. That's exactly what the special main method does.
So you just pop this main method right inside our class. And I know, that line looks like a mouthful, but don't let it scare you. It's just the universal entry point. When you hit run, the Java virtual machine is literally hardwired to go searching for this exact line of code to get the whole show on the road.
Let's just pull it apart real quick. Public just means, hey, Java system, you can see this. Static means you can run it directly without making a whole new object from the class first. Void is simple. It just means this method doesn't give anything back when it's done. And main? Well, that's just the magic name Java is looking for. See? Each word has one specific job. It's not so bad when you break it down, right? And hey, a little peek into the future for you. The people behind Java know that long line is a bit much for beginners. So in newer versions, they're introducing a preview feature that lets you just write void main. How cool is that? So much cleaner. Okay, but a program that does nothing is, well, pretty boring, so let's make it do something. Inside our main method, we add this one command. System.out.println is just the classic go-to way to make your program print some text out to the screen. And just like that, boom, we have a real working program that does something. So you've probably noticed we've been using some of these special words, like class and public. Let's actually talk about what those are and what we call the other words, the ones we get to make up. Okay, so a keyword is basically a word that Java has called dibs on. It's reserved. It has a very special meaning for the compiler. That's the program that turns our human-readable code into computer speak. Because they're protected, you just can't use them for your own stuff, like naming your class. That would just confuse everybody. And here are some of the heavy hitters. You've already met a few of these guys: public, class, static, and void. But you'll see others all the time, like int for whole numbers, or if and for to control the flow of your program. These are the fundamental vocabulary, the grammar of the language. So on one side you have keywords, Java's words. On the other side you have identifiers, and these are the names you get to create. Our hello world, that's an identifier we chose. And this is super important. Picking good, clear, descriptive names is what separates messy code from clean, readable code that you'll still understand 6 months from now. You know, code isn't just for the computer. It's for other people. And maybe most importantly, it's for your future self who has no idea what you were thinking at 2 a.m. That's why we have comments. They're just notes for humans that the compiler totally ignores. The quickest and most common one is the single-line comment. Just type 2 forward slashes. Anything after that, for the rest of the line, is invisible to the computer. It's perfect for leaving a quick note, like, hey, this line is tricky.
But what if you need to write a whole paragraph? For that, you use a block comment. You start it with a slash asterisk and you end it with an asterisk slash. And everything in between, no matter how many lines it takes, becomes one big comment. Great for more detailed explanation.
Now, this third one is really cool. It's called a JavaDoc comment. It looks almost the same as a block comment, but it starts with a slash and 2 asterisks. That extra little star is like a magic switch. Why? Because special tools can read these comments and automatically generate professional-looking documentation for your code. It's an absolute game changer for big projects.
Okay, so writing one file is fine. But what happens when your project has 10 files, 100, 1,000? You're going to need a system to keep it all organized. Let's look at how Java does that.
The answer is something called packages. And honestly, the best way to think about them is just like folders on your computer. You group related files into a folder, right? Well, you group related classes into a package. It keeps your project neat and tidy, and it also prevents you from, say, accidentally creating 2 different classes with the exact same name.
And because of this system, Java is really strict about the order of things in your file. It has to be this way every time. First, if you have one, your package declaration. It must be line 1. Second, any import statements you need to pull in code from other places. And then finally comes your class definition where you write your actual code.
So let's put it all together. This is what a clean, professional Java file looks like. You've got your package at the top telling it where it lives. You've got your imports pulling in the tools you need. You've got your documentation comments explaining what's happening. And then you have your class and your main method doing the work. All these pieces together, that's the anatomy of a real Java program.
And there you have it. That's the basic grammar of Java. You know about the class container, the main method, entry point, the difference between keywords and identifiers, and how to structure a file with packages and comments. These are the Lego bricks. So now you know the rules. The only question is, what amazing thing are you gonna build?